What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of the FREQ Talks Podcast. On this episode, we're actually going to talk about something that came up this week in the gym. Right. So on Monday, our workout was split up into two sections. So section A was kind of a strength portion. We did some, every 2 minutes, basically, you had to do two, relatively heavy back squats and then into some wide grip strict pull-ups. It's kind of, as many as you can do before failing, and then, hop down and rest the rest of the time, load up some more weight on your barbell, and then hit another set of two. And we just kind of went through that like 4 or 5 rounds. And then part B was a HIIT style workout that included just a lot of reps, included a lot of like air squats and box jumps and, sit-ups and then running. And it closed out with a, 3/4 mile run. And then on Wednesday, I think it was, I was talking to one of our members, and he was saying that, just on Monday, like he didn't feel very good. He didn't feel very strong. He started to cramp up on the run. He started to cramp up on the squats. He started to just not feel particularly good, throughout the course of the workout. And it really just kind of got me thinking about, a lot of people imagine their workout progress, the progression of, them exercising, them getting stronger, them losing weight, them building muscle to be linear, right? A straight line. So you start down here and then you move up here. I guess that makes more sense if you're watching the video version, but you kind of, if you're trying to get stronger, you start on the low end, on the left side of the graph. And then as you progress towards the right side of the graph and you get more time in, your fitness journey, the weight just naturally goes up every single time. Right. Or conversely, if you're trying to lose weight, on the left side of that graph, you have your weight up high, and then on the right side, you have your weight down low, and it's just a straight line down there. And that's not really the way that the body functions. That's not really the way that it works. It's not a straight line. It's not a perfect straight graph, right? But it will trend that direction that you want it to trend, depending on what your goals are, as long as you are consistently doing the things that you need to be doing, right? So some days you're going to go into the gym and you're not going to feel great, right? You're a little bit stressed out. You got into an argument with somebody at work or your significant other or your kids, or, you ate too much the day before, or you ate too little, or, there's so many things that go into whether or not you actually have a good experience at the gym, that it's not always going to be linear. It's not always going to be a straight line that says, yesterday I squatted 150 pounds. Next week I should be able to squat 170 pounds, right? Maybe next week you're feeling a little bit off and 135 is a massive struggle for you, right? And that's totally fine. That's 100% okay, right? My recommendation for anybody, whenever you're feeling a little bit off, as long as you're not sick, right? If you're sick, that's a whole nother story, and that's a, podcast for another time. But as long as you're not sick, right? Say you're just not feeling it, you're a little bit tired, you're a little bit lethargic, your head's not 100% in it. As long as you're continuing to progress, you're making progress. I guess that kind of doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But what I mean is, as long as you at least try, you go in and you start doing the workout. Typically what I found is one of two things happens, right? The first is, as you get in there and you start warming up and you start hitting those first couple of light warm-up sets, right? Your mind kind of clicks into it, and you become then like activated, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm ready to go. Let's hit this. Let's hammer it out. This is going to be a great workout, right? And in that scenario, you push it, right? You go hard, you go fast, you go strong, you go heavy, whatever it is that you're trying to do for that particular workout. The second thing that'll happen is you'll go in, you kind of feel a little bit off. You'll start warming up. You'll start hitting those warm-up sets, those lightweight sets, and just everything still feels heavy, right? Everything still feels a little bit off. And when that happens, no problem. Dial things back, right? Stay at a little bit of a lighter weight, right? Move through your progressions a little bit slower. Slow down your pace a little bit if it's a HIIT workout, but still getting in there and still doing the actual workout, right? Because even if it's not your greatest day, even if it's not a day that you're going to come in and smash records and PR lifts and run your fastest or do your best, you're still getting better than if you decided not to go in at all, right? And then the next time that workout comes up or the next time that movement comes up, you're going to be that much better because you went in and you actually focused on, improving technique, right? Because your body felt a little bit off and, you weren't going for a max effort lift. So instead you were going a little bit slower, going a little bit lighter, focusing more on the technique. So because of that, your technique is now better, which means next time you go in to do it and you are feeling good and you're like, yeah, today's the day I'm going to hit it. Today's the day I'm going to go for a heavy lift. Well, when that happens, it's simple because your body's right, your mind is right, and you've spent that additional time focusing a little bit more on technique rather than a little bit more on maximal weight, right? So if you're ever just kind of feeling down, feeling a little bit out of it, and you're just like, this is not my day, no problem. 100% go in. If you're in, if you're working out alone, kind of feel it out as you're going, right? Like as you're starting to warm up, as you're starting to stretch out, as you're hitting those first warm-up sets, kind of feel it out and figure out exactly how you're feeling, right? And if it clicks, then that's a day where, you're going to push it the same way that you would any other day. And if it doesn't click and you're still feeling a little bit off, well, tone it back, go a little bit lighter, maybe add a couple more reps in and focus more on the technique work as opposed to, going maximal load or maximal speed, right? Either way, you're going to end up getting better just by going in and putting the work in, right? And that's what it's all about, right? It's, can I get 1% better today from where I was yesterday? Or can I get 1% better in this next hour from where I was an hour ago? Because if you can do that, and you continuously do that throughout the year, throughout the month, throughout the week, I just went backwards on that, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, then what'll happen is you will progressively get better, right? And there's, I know I've mentioned it before, but if you get 1% better every single day, then you get 37 times better by the end of the year or something along those lines. It's an absurdly high number, right? That doesn't mean that your weight is going to go up by 37 times. It means that you're going to get 37 times better, right? Sometimes that's technique. Sometimes that's weight. Sometimes that's cardio. Sometimes that's mentality. Sometimes that's, just pushing yourself a little bit more. Sometimes that's digging a little bit deeper, right? So it doesn't matter as long as you aren't sick. If you're having a rough day, if you're having a bad day, but you were planning on going to work out anyways, go get that workout in because it's definitely not going to hurt by going in and moving a little bit slower with a little bit of a lighter load. If anything, it'll eventually make you better so that when we eventually push for maximal loads, maximum speed, you're going to be that much more primed, that much more ready, that much more prepared for it because you focused on technique just a little bit extra and you got 1% better on that technique. All right, guys, today's was a little bit short. That's all I got for you today, but that's something that I wanted to talk about after speaking with our member at our gym, earlier this week about, just how Monday wasn't a great day for him. He just kind of wasn't feeling it, but, he went in and he did it anyway, and he got a little bit better each and every time that he goes in. And that's what it's all about, right? Every single day we go in, we just get a little bit better. And over the course of, our journey, we get significantly better. So cool, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Hey, what's up? Thank you for checking out this episode of the FREQ Talks Podcast. If you found this interesting, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so that you get notified every time we upload a new video. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.